Yeah, that's the important point, and I think that's been one of the big difficulties China's had during the whole pandemic period. The problem has been very weak demand. The trade surplus year to date is even bigger than it was last year, which was a record trade surplus, and that shows how weak domestic demand is. And so what China should really be doing is trying to expand domestic demand. And they talk about that almost every day in the newspapers. They propose new ways of expanding domestic demand, domestic consumption, but they're still not really doing it. The government is structured, or the economy is structured, around transfers to the supply side of the economy. So they're very good at continuing to subsidize manufacturing and the supply side of the economy, but they've not been very good at boosting domestic demand. And as a result, I'm not really sure shifting credit from the property sector to the industrial sector is necessarily a good thing for the economy.
This is a pretty crude idea, Michael, but I mean, it's been tried and tested, and in some cases it's actually worked. What about direct cash handouts?
Direct cash handouts, or give cheap housing to the poor, or eliminate the subway fee. There's lots of different ways you can transfer income to the household sector, particularly the poor. But the problem is not transferring to, the problem is transferring from. And so far there hasn't really been much of a discussion as to which part of the economy, which sectors have to pay for these transfers, and what's the mechanism for getting them to pay. That's always the hard part, and it seems to me that they're not, they're not really there yet, Martin.
Michael, is it inconceivable then that China will avoid a credit event if the leadership continues to just mandate the banks to roll over the debt, albeit at lower interest rate levels?
Yeah, if by credit event you mean some kind of financial crisis, I think that's very unlikely. Remember, the Chinese banking system is basically closed, heavily regulated, heavily controlled, and underpinned with effectively guarantees by the government. So we're never really likely to get an out-of-control bank run or anything like that. But the way you resolve bad debt, once you go through all the various attempts at doing it, the way you resolve bad debt is you take the loss and you allocate the loss to some sector or other of the economy. Until you do that, the bad debt will continue to drag on future growth. And that's the part that I think they haven't really done yet. There isn't a clear sense of who's going to absorb the losses and how.
Got it. Listen, Mike, we got to go.
Hi, I'm Emily Tan, and thanks for watching CNBC. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.